Good morning, dear students. In yesterday period, we were discussed about introductory part of chapter Atoms and Molecules. Afterwards, laws of chemical combination. It means whenever a reactants react together to form the products or the elements combine together to form a compound, they do this according to certain laws. These laws are called laws of chemical combination. Yes, my dear students, Lavoisier laid the foundation of chemical sciences by establishing two important laws of chemical combination, which are as follows. First one, laws of chemical combination. First law is law of conservation of mass. It means the law states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. It means that in any chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product, and there is no change in mass during the chemical reaction. Yes, my dear students, at that time we discussed with the help of what? Example, it means sodium carbonate react with hydrochloric acid. It can use as to what? Carbon dioxide as well as sodium chloride. It means total mass of reactants are 14 gram as well as total mass of product is also 14 gram. Since the reactant and products have the same mass, this means that there was no loss or gain of mass after the reaction. Yes, my dear students, second law of chemical combination is law of constant proportions or law of definite proportion. The law states that in a chemical substance or a compound, the elements are always present in definite proportion or ratio by mass. Example is taken there, water. It means if 9 gram of water is decomposed, 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen are always obtained. Afterwards, we have discussed explanation of law of chemical combination. It means Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory provided an explanation for the law of chemical combination. According to Dalton's atomic theory, all matter, it means whether an element or a compound or a mixture, is composed of small particles called atoms. Yes, my dear students, today afterwards we discuss postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. Today let us see atoms. What is meant by atom? Yes, atoms are the smallest particle of an element which may or may not have independent existence but take part in chemical reaction. Yes, my dear students, what they may or may not have what their independent their existence, but they take part. It means atoms are take part in a chemical reaction. Example, atoms of hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen etc. are not capable of independent existence, whereas atoms of helium, neon etc. are capable of existing independently. Size of atoms. Atoms are very small and their radius is measured in nanometers. It means 1 upon 10 raised to 9 meter is equal to 1 nanometer, or 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to 9 nanometers. Let us see modern day symbols of atoms and different atoms and different elements. In chemistry, symbols are representation of an element. It is simple to use the symbol of an element rather writing whole word of an element. Dalton was scientist who introduced symbols for representing elements for the first time. Yes, my dear students, at that time, when Dalton was introduce or represent element, how? Okay, example hydrogen, yes, in this type, yes, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, okay, some given in our textbook, etc. Okay, it means Dalton was the scientist who introduced symbol in this type. It means representing of an element. Okay, in this type. In this type of symbols are used. Okay, at the time. As Dalton's symbols for elements were difficult to draw and inconvenient to use. Yes, my dear students. Okay, it means drawing representation of element is difficult task. Okay. But modern day symbols for elements were introduced by J.J. Bergelius. These are defined as a shorthand representation of name of an element. Yes, my dear students, that is termed as what a shorthand representation of the name of an element. In the beginning, the names of element were derived from the name of place where they were found for the first time. But nowadays, it is the UFAC who approves the names and symbols of the elements. Yes, my dear students, nowadays. Okay, nowadays, UFAC nomenclature, IUPAC. It means nowadays symbolical representation was explained with the help of what? IUPAC nomenclature. IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, who approves the names and symbols of the element. Many of the symbols are the first one or two letters of the element's name in English. Yes, my dear students. How nowadays represent? Yes, for take an example. Okay, carbon, first letter C, represented as a C. Oxygen, first letter O. S. Sodium, Na. Yes, same as iron, Fe, okay, platinum, ferrum, gold, Au, from platinum, arum, potassium, K, from calcium, platinum, chlorine, Cl from chloros came from a Greek word or Greek name cobalt. Cobalt. Co came from German name, it means cobalt, and sodium means natrium. Natrium came from a Latin word. Yes, my dear students, there are different types of sorry, not different types, there are totally 118 elements are present in our what a modern periodic table. Let us say atomic mass. What is meant by atomic mass? According to Dalton's, each element has a characteristic atomic mass, but determining the mass of an individual atom was a relatively difficult task due to its very small size. Hence, their relative atomic masses were determined using the law of chemical combinations and the compounds formed. For this purpose, initially 1/16 of mass of an atom of naturally occurring oxygen was taken as standard unit because of the following two reasons. Yes, my dear students. Okay, initially it means first what happened initially 1/16 of the mass of an atom of naturally occurring oxygen was taken as standard unit because okay, there is a two reason why oxygen is taken initially standard. Okay, first one, oxygen reacted with a large number of elements and formed compounds. Okay, why? Because oxygen reacted with water a large number of, it means a more number of elements and form a respective compounds. That is the first reason. And second, this unit gave masses of most of the elements as whole numbers. Yes, my dear students, this unit mean 1/16 of mass of an atom naturally occurring oxygen. This unit is gave masses of most of the elements as a whole number. However, in 1961, carbon okay, it means finally in 1961 carbon C12 isotope was chosen as standard reference for measuring atomic mass is universally universally universally. Yes, my dear students, it means after nowadays we use what carbon 12. Carbon 12 is the standard isotope, okay, standard, but initial stage what 1 upon 16 of oxygen is used as a standard unit. Yes, my dear students, let us see what is meant by relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass relative atomic mass is defined as the number of times a given atom is heavier than 1 upon 12th of mass of 1 upon 12th of mass of 1 atom of carbon 12, or it is the average mass of the atom as compared to 1 upon 12th the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. Yes, my dear students, it is defined as the number of times a given atom is heavier than 1 upon 12th of the mass of 1 atom of carbon 12, or it is the average mass of the atom as compared to 1 upon 12th the mass of 1 carbon 12 atom. Yes, my dear students, remind once again what is meant by relative atomic mass. It is defined as the number of times a given atom is heavier than 1 upon 12th of the mass of 1 atom of carbon 12, or it is the average mass of the atom as compared to 1 upon 12th the mass of 1 carbon 12 atoms. Yes, let us see, my dear students, what is meant by atomic mass unit or unified mass. Atomic mass unit. It is defined as, it means atomic mass unit is defined as the mass unit equal to exactly 1 upon 12th of the mass of 1 atom of carbon 12 isotope. Earlier it was abbreviated as AMU, but according to latest recommendations of IUPAC, it is now written as small letter u. It means unified mass. Before unified mass, it is represented as what are AMU, atomic mass unit, but nowadays it is changed as a unified mass. It means small letter u. Yes, my dear students, It is defined as the mass unit equal to exactly 1/12 of the mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope, 1/12 carbon 12 isotope. Yes, my dear students, that is termed as what? Atomic mass unit. Yes. Okay, it is measured in terms of what? Small letter u, it means unified mass. Yes, in today's class we all are discussed about what is meant by atom. Afterwards, modern symbols of atoms of different elements. It means earlier Dalton proposed what a diagrammatic representation of what a symbols, but nowadays it means according to IUPAC elements are represented with the help of a symbol. Afterwards, what is meant by atomic mass and relative mass and atomic mass unit? It means an unified mass.